Have you wanted to play Star Wars Unlimited Sealed, but you just can't figure it out? All those... What are you doing?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
That's the wrong card.
What do you mean it's the wrong card?
I was trying to do that, but that's not that, because that's that, and never mind. I'm here.
But you can't quite get through those 30, 50 hour plus long videos that really don't give you the information you're looking for?
I don't have that attention span.
Well, we want to build decks, we want to play sealed, and we want to have other people be able to understand it without having to do all the research we did. So, we're going to go over everything you need to build a deck, how we set it up, and just try and make it easy and as quick as possible so you can get started playing sealed like us.
So I love playing sealed, then when that happens, you gotta open cards. I like to open cards. I don't like to do very much else. First thing is the type of cards you're going to open when you open cards.
Okay.
Cardboard.
Yep, that's okay.
First one is going to be...
Very helpful.
Well, this is helpful. It's a base.
Telling them it's cardboard?
It's cardboard, just in case you wanted to know. But you're going to open a base, and a base are single colors, and that's where things happen and stuff goes down.
All right, so you've got your bases. These are basically a way that you can splash colors. There are going to be two differences in your bases. You've got your common ones, which are the ones that you can play any common one you want. You can tell that because it has a token back. So you can play any common you want. A rare, on the other hand, has that little R down at the bottom instead of this little C, and it is going to have a regular back. So that may help you determine, can my opponent play this card? No, I pulled it, it's my card. Can my opponent play this card? Yes, this is a token, everybody has access to these. That is why we opened our whole box before we started playing sealed, because we wanted access to as many common locations as possible. Then we have our heroes. So our heroes are going to come in two varieties. They're going to come in heroism, which is this off-white color, and they're going to come in villainy, which is this black color here.
Are you good or evil?
Your basic colors are going to be blue, green, red, and yellow. And then your villainy and heroism cards will have the same colors splashed in. So you can see here, we've got green heroism, yellow heroism, blue heroism, blue villainy, green villainy, yellow villainy. So, villainy, heroism, and then our bases. That is going to give us a total of 3 colors to build our decks with. So as you can see, your hero is going to provide 2, and then your base is going to provide a 3rd color. So your main 2 colors are the heroes of your color, and then you're going to splash in another color, giving you access to 3 different pools of cards, basically.
You want 3, not 2.
So, question you may be asking yourself that we asked, and there wasn't really like a quick, direct answer to, was, can I play other cards in my deck? And the answer is yes. So, if I wanted to play this hero here, Hera, she is green and heroism, but let's say I wanted to play a villainy card. So here is a villainy card right here. This is blue and villainy. So if I wanted to play this card in this deck, and I had blue, then I'm meeting the blue requirement. However, I'm not meeting the villainy requirement. So that means that I have to pay 2 extra for every one of these I don't have in my pool. And so since I have blue, but I don't have villainy, it is going to cost me 2 extra. So instead of this card costing 4, it will cost 6. And also, if this is green and white, and I don't have blue, then now I have 2 resources that my hero does not have access to. So this will cost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes, you can play whatever card you would like. However, it's got to be very powerful because you're paying 2 for every aspect you do not control. But mainly you're just going to pick 3. The 2 your hero presents, and then a base to splash your color in.
All right, guys, you've opened your packs. You got a stack of cards. What are we doing first? We're gonna sort them out. Time for sorting.
Like this. So there you go. You're gonna separate your cards basically into 15 different piles. This is going to help you figure out what deck you want to build. We have 3 different rows here. We have our villainy row. So every single card in this row contains villainy. We have our heroism row. Every card in this row contains heroism. And then we have our basic row. So this is your basic colors that can be played in either deck. Again, like I said, you can play both heroism and villainy, but you're more than likely not going to. So you're going to pick, are you playing heroism or are you playing villainy, right? So then you take either this stack of cards or this stack of cards. And then you've got your colors. So again, your colors are going to be determined based on your base and your hero and how you're going to build that together. As you can see, there are a lot more cards in the basics than there are in the heroism and villainy, right? So this is the meat and potatoes of your deck. These are the cards that can be played in either side. And then these are the cards that are going to help you determine whether you're going to the dark side or you're going to the light side.
Congratulations. You've organized the board. You now know what kind of cards you got, what you're supposed to do with them. Mess them all up, put them in a circle, and just play them.
Please stop.
No, not that. You're supposed to deck build them somehow, and I guess we're going to talk about that next.
All right, so on the website, it gives us some kind of direction, right? So before we get to that direction, we have to understand what these cards actually are and how they are different. So we've got a few different types. So here we have an upgrade and an event. These are basically going to be considered the same style of card. This is a non-unit card. These are normally one-use cards. In this case, this is you're doing something, the card's going away. This is you're attaching it to a hero, but it's like a one-use card, right? So that is what we have here. We've got our one-use cards. Those are just considered non-unit cards. Then we have unit cards, and there are two types of unit cards. So here you will notice we have a unit card, and then we have space. So this is a space unit, and then here we have a ground unit. So again, unit and then ground. So the way that Star Wars is played is you have your hero in the middle, and then you've got your space, and you've got your ground, right? So if you don't have any space, they can just attack you. If you don't have any ground, they can just attack you. So you want to have a nice balance of both. That way you're just not getting overrun on one side. So now that we understand the basic kind of card descriptions, we'll look at our cost. So our cost is up here in the corner. Again, we've discussed as long as you have a red in your hero, it will cost you 1. As long as you have heroism and this yellow, it'll cost you 3, so on and so on. But how many of each card you want to include is what we're going to talk about now. So when it comes to card breakdown, they suggest that you have roughly 2/3 of your deck be units, so your minions, the things that are fighting for you, and about
a third.
I don't know why my brain just stopped. Like, oh yeah, a third to be like these one-time use or buff style cards.
The upgrades, the events, stuff that lets you shuffle your deck, pull cards, look for things.
In those units, they suggest that you have at least a third of those be space units. So, so you're having 2/3 of your deck is units, about a third of those you want to be space units, and that's just so you don't get overrun. Remember, you have to have both space and ground, or they can just attack straight through without any repercussions. So
because ground can't attack space and space can't attack ground.
Exactly.
Unless otherwise stated.
So make sure you're including at least some splashing that other side of the battlefield kind of a thing. Also, they suggest that about a third of your units be units that you can get out quickly. They say that if you're not playing a card on turn 1, you're falling behind very easily in the game. So you want to make sure you're getting a lot of these 1 and 2 cost little guys out. That wants to be a good chunk of your deck. That way you always have a card to play early or to supplement to get out easy.
Makes sense.
In constructed numbers, they suggest 8 3-cost units. So I guess that would just be a handful of 3-cost units in sealed. And then obviously you just have a few big heavy hitters, you know, maybe
beasties.
1, 2, 3. I don't know exactly how many is the perfect number, but obviously you're following a curve, right? So you want a bunch of little stuff, a very little amount of big stuff, and obviously the easiest way to play sealed in pretty much any game is just to pick the largest pile and play, right? And
Stack it up.
Unfortunately, you know, we've learned how to do this, but we haven't actually built the decks yet, so we don't know if that is a good strategy or not, if it actually works. So we're going to discuss what do these colors actually mean, how do they play, so maybe you can have some strategy in building your deck. So why don't we talk about what these colors have words associated, correct?
Words, they do.
Okay, so we've got blue. What is our blue?
Blue means vigilance.
Blue is vigilance, okay? And what are we doing with vigilance?
When you think about vigilance, think about a bunker. You're going to be defensive, you're going to heal people, and you're going to protect your base.
Okay.
You're going to hunker down, you ain't going to move. And all you want to do is your enduring assault. So basically you have a lot of defenses going on, and you're going to outlast the other player.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like kind of like a control deck. You're just kind of sitting back, slowly through time, outvaluing your opponent. Okay?
Yeah.
What else do we got?
Green.
So we got green.
Green's a command deck. It is a resource acceleration type deck.
Resource acceleration. So green is called command?
It is.
Okay, so command. And so this is basically, if you've ever played another game, green is ramp, right? So you're just trying to get some resources out faster than your opponent in different ways. Like this card right here. So this card, when it dies, it turns into a resource. So this is getting you resources faster than your opponent, allowing you to put out a larger board presence faster. Right?
Yep, its keywords for green is massive board presence.
Massive board presence. There you go.
You want to overwhelm them with your numbers.
All right, so then we've got red.
Red. Aggression.
Aggression. So I'm just going to take a stab at this. Red is aggression. It's probably aggro.
Shocker, I know. You
Aggro,
want efficient attackers and a large amount of damage.
So there you go. So you're just trying to have the most efficient curve, deal as much damage as seemingly possible, as fast as possible. Makes sense. That's red basically in most other games.
Yep.
All right. Then we've got yeller. What's yeller?
It's known as cunning.
Cunning. Ooh.
So it's a toolbox, disruption, response deck. So basically you want to prevent the other player from being able to do whatever they're trying to do, and you want to be responding to them every time they're doing something. You want to disrupt them and throw them off their game, and then stab them in the side.
All right, so this is just like it kind of sounds a little bit like blue, except in this way you're just trying to find an answer to a problem. So that's pretty interesting. Okay.
Less defensive. Yep. So then.
So this is going to get thrown in the video somewhere because I forgot to mention it. All these other ones are color-based, right? So these can be played in any deck because they do not have an aspect. So it doesn't matter what your hero is, what your base is. These have no aspect, so these can be played basically any deck you want.
They're a crack bauble with a purpose. We're going to go over here, and this is heroism. The question is good or evil, right? So heroism is a protagonist. You're wanting to support and protect and press back against the attack. So basically, you're like, we're going to beat them, but we're not starting the fight. And then you have the villainy, which is the black cards. And we are huge armies, powerful, destructive units, and we started the fight, and we're going to finish it.
Sure. Anyways, we tried to condense that as best we could. We tried to explain it the best we could. We're not experts. We haven't even built these decks yet. It was just that we struggled so hard to get this information. We wanted to make it available to you in a quick, direct format. So maybe it'll help you get started on your sealed journey.
We're going to wing it. Come back next time and see what happens.
Till next time, guys. Peace.